I just barely made it back in time. I got my cable. Let me plug it in. Like I said, y'all, we're about to get into the Chris Lopez story. Chris Lopez says that Kail got her new man ready to stalk his behind. And you know what? Listen, stranger things have happened. Can I ask y'all, do you believe him? Before we even get, actually, let's get into the story. Then I'll ask you if you believe him. So basically, shout out to Team Mom Chatter for these screenshots, by the way. But Chris had posted a photo of a car sitting outside parked next to him. And in it, it says, clown ass, just tried to send a new boy of the week to sit and monitor like he's regulating some ish while I sit waiting with my kids, then try to pull off after she pulls up late. Who the F are you? New tags on the car too. So what y'all think that mean? Well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, we don't actually get to see who is behind the wheel. So it's really hard to say whether or not it's true that this is Kail's new boyfriend monitoring Chris, right? However, we did recently see Chris release photos and videos of Kail's friend Becky at his kid's soccer game, kind of acting like she's the kid's baby daddy, right? Do you guys remember that? And he was like, oh, listen, she does this type of stuff. She sends people to monitor me and to kind of agitate the situation with me. So, you know, if she does that with her friend who's a married woman and everything, would she be above putting her new guy up to that? Like, I don't know, right? Again, you don't actually get to see who is driving behind the wheel of this, so it's really hard to be able to tell indefinitely. But I'm just saying this is not something that I would put past Kail Lowry personally. And I also wanted to note that this is a brand new car. And one thing about Kail is she pays for D, right? For all those of you who've been wondering, how is it that this woman with her like crazy situation is able to constantly like pull all these random men, especially child-free men? You know, they're pretty young. They're not terrible to look at. How does she do it? Well, Chris revealed the answer in one of his recent Instagram lives. He said that the thing that kept him coming back for more was that Kail was buying him things. And Kail has admitted as much. In her podcast, she said she was ready to buy this man a brand new BMW i8. He just had to say the word. She was ready to suck his toes. He just had to spread the jam in between them, and she was ready. Right? Like she does it all. He said she was paying for trips for him and his friends. She said she was buying designer dogs, one for him, one for his friend. She balls out on these men so that they stick around in her orbit, right? So I think these men are kind of gigolos. That's giving gigolo, is it not? So anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Kail has already admitted on her podcast that she is not above buying a man a vehicle so that that man will stay with her. Just saying. Anyway, let me get into your comments before we get into what Kail's new boyfriend wrote to clap back against Chris. Low key, okay? Stephanie says, we need a sit down with Kail and all the baby puppies, mafia style. I'm telling you, a nice big, like a round table. Tyrell, nice to see you, boo. Sorry, I was watching Janelle update. Oh, is she live? Tyrell also says, Tori, as of last chat, was working and staying in North Carolina. She's now moving in with Janelle and soon. They're planning on a podcast. Oh, those girls are going to be filming like an insane amount of OnlyFans content together. Roson says, what's the point of stalking him? I'm not saying Kail's above stalking, but what's the end game? Well, that's a good question, right? What's the point of any of this? Like, what was the point of having not one, but two kids by this man? Like, I don't know, but it's so crazy. I don't know. That's the scary part about all of this. Like, it's insane to me. I don't know. Like, is Chris paranoid? Because without any proper proof that that is what was happening or that new boyfriend is the one behind the wheel, it's really hard to know for sure. Acacia says, definitely believe it. We all know Chris is petty love of her life, right? Like she loves that man. You know, it doesn't matter who she's with. If she's having babies with a new man, engaged to a new man, she is constantly talking about how this was the one person, the only person she ever truly loved in her life, which honestly, like imagine being her ex-husband, right? Hey, Nikki. Thank you so much, Nikki. That's so nice. I just got it done this morning. It feels still so nice and stiff. Kail is a trick. Yes, that's exactly what it is. She is a trick. These are her sugar babies. It would be par for the course for her to be bawling out on a man to make him stay. Steph says, not the yup, the flavors, fig, fig and raspberry. K Car says it's really unfortunate Lex and Creed ended up with two horrible parents. At least all the other ones have good dads to compensate for Kail. Poor kids. Honestly, I feel for them. Speaking of, she's been posting about Rio, I believe it is, and then she talked about him in a podcast. I don't want to get into the details of it because, he's very, very young. So it's very, I don't know. So anyway, but she posted a photo of him having what looked like a hernia coming out above his belly button. And she says that he's been having some health issues and stuff. They had to get ultrasounds and whatnot. So just an FYI, a little bit of an update on how Rio's doing. Hopefully things get better for him. But I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. It just feels a bit much, at this point. I'm kind of burnt out on her. You know how we talked about her friend Lindsay and her friend Lindsay changing her last name to her boyfriend's last name and then wearing an engagement ring and then doing this photo shoot that made it look like they were engaged and they were doing an engagement shoot on the beach. She involved her son in it. Well, in this week's episode of the Coffee Convos podcast, she goes, you know what? I don't want to talk about the choices I've made on my social media. Kail, we're going to talk about this offline. Listen, the two of them are nuttier than squirrel shit. I'll tell you that much. Insane. So she lives in Dover, Delaware, Paprika. Shelby says the kids would know if that was the new man's car, right? Oh, so maybe that's it. So yeah, maybe. Okay. I get it now. It's too bad that like we don't get a photo of the guy behind the wheel for us, right? Because we don't know yet. But listen, if it's a brand new car, trust and believe Kail paid for that. So I guess, the biggest takeaway for me from all this is that she's still with that guy and that guy is potentially has already moved to Delaware, just like Javi said that he would. Let's continue to watch this space, y'all. I think it's only going to get messier and messier from here. The gloves are completely off with Chris, right? And the gloves are completely off with Javi as well. So, this is just the beginning. By December of this year, we're going to see something even more explosive than Javi's Instagram rant. Trust and believe. Tanisha says Kail had two kids with him and he still didn't stay. I don't know why she thought luxury items would hold him. Right? Honestly, it makes me so sad. Just the idea of this, just being so desperate for a man that you give him everything, including kids and stuff. And it's just oh my God. I do really feel for her in that regard. The low self-esteem of that is just so palpable to me. And so I really, really feel for her. And I really hope that that's something that she has worked on. However, unfortunately, I do not think that that's the case. I still do see her as somebody with very low self-esteem based on the way that she navigates her romantic relationships. Raven says the only guy that didn't like her and used her, attacked her and threatened her. What does that say about you? That's the only one that you can definitively say that you ever loved. That is so sad. Really, really sad. Steph says, you're right. Chris is the only one she had two kids with, right? Then Elijah came on and boom, these boys are gold. Exactly. Ladies, if you're successful, keep your wallet closed because these men are the new gold diggers. They really are. Be careful. The stories I've been hearing lately, my God. Tyrell says she has possibly three. Are you saying that Rio's wait. No, it's two with Chris, three with Elijah. Or maybe two with Elijah, maybe one with that other guy that she was dating in between, just before she got with Elijah. She cheated on him with Elijah. Damn, those windows are tinted. We do not get to tint our windows. Exactly. That's what I was really surprised about. They are blackout windows, right? Very, very strange stuff in general. And I agree, BR. Listen, my voice is cracking, y'all. Cracking over this Kail story. Acacia believes that Kail has officially moved that man in. What about you guys? Do you also think that it's true? It's official that man has moved in? Because if it's true that he lives in, where was it, Philadelphia or Pennsylvania or something like that, why would he be spending his time just sitting around watching Chris, right? I think that they'd want to make the most of his time in a better way, if you know what I mean. Rabbits, screen door in a hurricane style. But if he's actually living now in Delaware, and can make the time to do this sort of thing in the middle of the afternoon, then yeah, to me, that means that, okay, he spent an amount of time there that could be conducive to living there potentially. So we're going to have to continue to keep an eye on this situation. Like I said, this thing is only going to get more and more messy. The guys are officially tired of playing games. And I think they're going to truly flip their lid when they can get concrete proof that that this man has moved in. Like, I would flip my lid as well if I were in the situation. And yes, Jaleesa, how does his girlfriend listen? You know what? She was the OG of the harem. Chris has been cheating on that woman since university days. So she is one of God's strongest soldiers. Maybe to her, she thinks all of this was just normal at this point. She must be numb to it. She must be immune to it. And for what? Like, this girl, her self-esteem might even be lower than Kail's at this point, because she was the OG. And then he cheated on her with not just Kail, but a bunch of other women as well. And she still stuck around, gave him a baby. And I think isn't he single now though? But like, honestly, thinking about that woman is sad as well. Oh my God. Listen, Paprika, oh my God, me watching myself. I don't know if I could do it. And yes, Trent, sorry, I was misspeaking at the beginning of my video. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Listen, I'm telling you guys, I have been tongue-tied forever these days. Malcolm Jamal Warner is who I was speaking about. And sorry, I really need to take another big swig of water, y'all. Actually, wait, I did want to share something with you. So, Kail's new boyfriend, and again, shout out to you, Teen Mom Chatter, for these screenshots, okay? So Kail's new boyfriend posted to his story to prove that he is in Pennsylvania currently, close to, my people in Ottawa, Toronto, Mississauga. Isn't it so? Tyrell and my other Canadians in here. Look at us. We made it, y'all. We made it. So he didn't put a caption next to this, but it goes without saying that he's trying to show that he was nowhere near Chris at this time and that he's over there at his home in Pennsylvania. So I want to know what you guys think. Listen, I kind of feel like anybody could just pull up a map, right? Or maybe they had taken a screenshot long ago, or maybe he returned back to it, or he asked somebody else to take a screenshot that he knows is in Pennsylvania. I don't know that this necessarily proves anything. What about you? I'm going to come back to your comments, you guys. Oh, Lord. My voice, y'all, my voice. Irani says she loves to think she is playing us. Yep, that's one of her things. That is one of her things. Absolutely. And it's all just like this big funny game to her, which is crazy, right? Because it just sounds like a nightmare on all fronts. Honestly, like her life, to me, the way that she set it up, it just sounds like the ultimate nightmare. Like, honestly, if somebody were thinking about like how to just make me as miserable as possible, how to truly ruin my life, they would do that to me. They would say, all right, girl, we're going to give you 7 kids by 4 or 5 different men. You're going to be fighting with all of them all the time. And all of this is going to play out publicly. Oh my God. And that's not even the half of it. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, bless this girl. I don't know how she does it, but this is nightmare fuel. Stephanie says, I'm telling you, you know who else is God's toughest soldier, since y'all love this? This is what people always say when they show Kerry Washington and Tony Goldwyn, Fitz and Olivia outside of their roles on Scandal, looking like they're ready to F each other. Like, they're so hot for each other, like it's palpable. And so people are always like, wow, their spouses are God's strongest soldiers. The way they look at each other, the way that they're so affectionate with each other and everything. Wow, it's crazy. So there you go. Keisha says, maybe Kail paid for his little trip. Right? So you guys are not falling for it. No. And yes, Ali, are you a tech girl? Yes. Give us the metadata. We do not believe you. This could be anything, anybody, to have taken a long time ago. A rewatch. Okay, thank you. Because I thought you were telling me to watch my reviews of them. I was like, I don't know. I don't really enjoy watching myself back. Okay, I'll look into it. Paprika, thanks for the suggestion. Lauren says, I need Pennsylvania and Delaware close. So maybe that's it too. Maybe he ran on back up there and then did this. I don't know. This isn't solid proof yet, but it does show that this man is tapped into what it is that Chris is posting about online. So does that lend credence to some of the stuff that Chris is accusing them of? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Winnie the Cat says, I remember an episode of Teen Mom when she was blown away from having 2 baby daddies. And I remember she was like, oh my God, like, ew, like 2 baby daddies. Now look, right? See, Gwen, I don't know how she does it. Honestly, I would just be in bed all day, every day, crying, truly just crying my freaking eyes out. And then you hear babies crying in the back. Oh my God, I couldn't do it. Good morning, Kahara. So nice to see you. And yes, Kailin, if you guys are enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, please don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, we go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. And Allie, you clocked it. Listen, that might be his job, right? Kail is blocked on everything. So she needs people in her circle and their burner accounts to be watching over Chris. And again, Chris showed proof of that, right? With Becky over there at the soccer game and whatnot, hovering over him like she's the baby daddy, like weirdo energy for sure in her world.